Da, da, theme song. Da.
Hey everybody.
Welcome
Back to Wine on an Empty Stomach with 1,000 Eyes on One podcast.
Happy spooky season.
Happy spooky season. I'm Tanya.
I'm Nikki.
And we are 1,000 Eyes on One, the podcast, bringing to you our favorite speculative fiction book club, Wine on an Empty Stomach. To find previous episodes, go to 1000eyespodcast.com. You can also find us on YouTube, 1,000 Eyes in One podcast. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter as 1,000 Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, 1,000 Eyes in One. If you're interested in our speculative fiction book club, that is Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram. And now I'm being interrupted by a child. So give me 1 second.
This is real life, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you know it's not pre-recorded, you know? We're here. We're doing it live. I've got to say, let me give a shout out. I am a little unprepared. Thank you for sticking with us, even though we had to delay of game because I scheduled a birthday event with my sister, only to realize that we showed up 2 hours early. Shout out to Puppy Sphere for puppy yoga. If they're doing a bunch of cities, they're Toronto based, but basically you walk in and there are puppies and you try to do yoga. I don't know how much yoga was done in our class, but it was very cute. And let me just say, Tanya, about this puppy experience. My sister was completely surprised. She had no idea.
Did she cry?
She didn't cry, but she was overwhelmed. And there was I just gave them a shout out for doing what they do. But I will also say that they took the puppies that fell asleep on our laps away from us because apparently we were playing puppy Monopoly. And I just want to say, like, I'm a dog person, you know? I'm a dog person who has and loves cats, but it's not my fault the puppies love me. It's not.
It's not.
So, yeah. Anyway, that was a thing.
Hey, AK. Good to see you as always.
Hey, AK.
Today's book is The Monsters We Defy by Leslye Penelope.
Shout out to Leslye Penelope.
This was a book I picked up last Thanksgiving. I was visiting DC and I found out that there was an independent bookstore like right up the street from where I was staying. So of course I had to go.
Just one
and I didn't know what I was looking for. I just started scanning randomly and I saw this book and I liked the cover. And I absolutely judge books by the cover. Judge me.
Me too.
And I liked the cover and I read the back and it took place in DC. So it felt appropriate. And I was like, okay.
I'm just laughing because we're talking about judging books by the cover. And I do the same thing too. And like, if there's an airbrushed man with a shirt on it, I usually give it a hard pass. I'm just like, no. But yeah, no, I really liked this read. I don't think that I tracked at first that it was in DC. Because I didn't read the description. I was like, oh, well, this is the book we're doing for book club. But then they started doing lettered streets, like U Street. And I was like, wait a second, is this in DC? And then I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so I got it because it was based in DC and I was in DC. It was really that simple. Mm-hmm. But I started it and I loved it. So we picked it for book club and I read it again. We meet Clara Johnson, who is based off of a real person.
Yeah, that was really interesting to find out because I read the epilogue and the notes afterwards. Yeah. Whew. I didn't Google her after that, but I was like, real person. That's cool.
Yeah, she's based off a real person. I think her name was never mind. Can't remember.
I'm gonna find it. Yeah, I think it was something like that.
It was something that like Clara was the given name, but it was something else that's like Clara. Nikki will find it.
Yep, on it.
So it was based off of her in her case. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't based off of her. It was inspired. The character was inspired by her.
Carrie Johnson.
So I'll look that up while we talk about it. It was inspired by Carrie Johnson in her case that we can get into later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Clara Johnson, young woman in her 20s, she's like 23, I think, in DC in the 20s.
Yeah, she's 23.
And
oh, to be 23 again.
Clara sees ghosts. She sees spirits, enigmas, all kinds of apparitions. She has the sight because she was born at a crossroad. And crossroads are, what's the word I want to use? Hallowed
Portals?
places. Portals is good.
Yeah, hallowed places, portals. I really like that beginning. I really enjoyed the beginning of the book where they talk about that. You know, like, oh, she couldn't have, like, you know, there is no escaping the type of woman that she would become because of the circumstances of her birth. And that's the type of thing that always sucks me right in. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, and I think, like, you know, the whole chaos and I don't know, not anticipation, but tension, I guess, surrounding her birth. Like, it's they're traveling, and you know they're not really supposed to be there. It's in a dark place at a crossroads. That's probably a sunset town. And
yes, it was a sunset town.
A sunset town.
They
or
said
is it
that
sunset
while
town
she
or
was
sundown town?
sundown town.
Sundown town. And if you don't know what that is.
it's not good.
It's not good. Historically, sundown towns are places that you would not want to be caught if you were a person of color, but specifically Black.
Yes, there's no blacks after sundown.
Yeah,
no blacks after sundown. You risk the opportunity to be lynched.
Yeah, you know what? I watched the first episode of Lovecraft Country earlier last week, and I remember, like, that's what happens in one of the first episodes. They was like, this here is a sundown town. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and AK is right, they are still in existence.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's her mom's screaming and hollering and giving birth, and the dad's got a shotgun making sure nobody comes around. And then the grandma, after all this happens, is just like, she sees the ashes in the middle of the roads, and she's like, oh shit.
Also, Clara was born in Call. So the sack didn't break.
Yes.
So she was born with the caul still around her, the birthing sac still around her, which in a lot of cultures means lots of different things.
Yeah. Is that the placenta? Is that what that is? Another way?
No, it's literally like the birthing sac that holds the amniotic fluid.
So what's the placenta?
The placenta is an extra organ that your body grows just for nourishing your baby while you're pregnant. And it like attaches to your uterus.
That's some wild shit.
It's some real sci-fi shit. Like, pregnancy amazes me every single day. Like, you literally grow an extra organ to feed your baby and keep it alive and give it oxygen. And then you push it out and it's gone.
Oh, those little colonizers. Wow. I don't think I ever realized the placenta was an extra organ. I thought it was the birthing sac itself.
Nope. It's an extra organ that attaches to your uterine wall and provides oxygen and blood and stuff to the baby. And then when the baby's born, usually a lot of places currently, they don't cut the cord right away. It lets the placenta keep pulsing blood to the baby until it stops, and then they cut it.
Oh, it stops on its own?
Like, after you birth the placenta. Yeah, so like you push the baby out, and then a little bit later you push the placenta out. The placenta keeps pumping blood to the baby, and then when it stops pumping, then they cut it. But by then it's outside of your body.
Right. But so have I read correctly that some people eat it?
Yes. Okay. Or they get it get it made into a powder and put it in a capsule.
Yeah, okay. That's
or some cultures they keep it and bury it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so Clara was special.
Yes. All that to say, Clara was born in Call. I've seen videos of babies born in Call. It looks crazy because it's like the baby doesn't know it's born yet. So like it's outside of the mother's body and it hasn't taken a breath.
Call. I'm gonna look it up right now.
CAUL Call.
Whoa. Okay. Not for the faint of heart. Whoa.
You can eat it, though.
That's Wild.
Yeah, that looks crazy, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. So in the Matrix,
Yep.
where they
Yep.
had like the people in the little tubey, like the egg things. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
It looks like, huh? Look at that science fact.
Yep. It's just an amniotic sac that hasn't broken. In fact, a lot of people don't know, and this is because of TV, that you can go into labor without your amniotic sac breaking, your water breaking.
So that's why you can have a baby that's born and call.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh
Because
yeah, this is
both
giving me
times
statistics.
I had to have my water broken because it just didn't break on its own.
Apparently, it's 1 in 80,000 births.
Hmm.
Hmm. Old wives' tales that these babies born like this have supernatural powers and an
Mm-hmm.
affinity for water. Hmm. Yo, you know what? You guys should totally Google this because
So much of
whoa.
it is like, what's the word? Censored.
Oh
Scrolling through
well.
it, the image search, and it's like all these censored things. You have
Oh
to
well.
click on it to see
I
the
just
image.
Googled it. Like my you know what? My safe search blurring is on. But I like the first thing that popped up was the miracle of a rare delivery and call birth on YouTube. So you're welcome. Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, it looks crazy and really alien.
Hmm.
Anyway, so Clara's very special. She lives with her roommate. What was her name? Zelda.
Ugh, Zelda.
I like Zelda. I think it's the voice actor that you don't like for Zelda.
Okay. So let me talk about this voice actor. I generally enjoy her. She's the same voice actor. Well, what I realized really quickly into her narration of this book is that she is the same voice actor for the Gilded Ones, which we did. Check our playlist. And it took me a little while to accept her as my narrator. I'll just say that. But Zelda the roommate is voiced in a way that I find to be absolutely excruciating. And I don't take it back because that's true. For me anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't really like the way she voiced. The other voices were fine for me. I just didn't like the way she voiced
It
Zelda.
was not good. I'll be right
Um,
back.
mhm. So Zelda is her roommate by accident. She has an accidental roommate. Zelda was robbing some guy, and
Zelda is such a problem.
Zelda's a pickpocket. She's albino, which throws people off really badly. One of the first characters we meet, a client, I guess, of Clara's, thinks that Zelda's a white woman because of her bushy blonde hair and her white
Hmm.
skin. But Zelda's actually albino. Her parents sold her to a circus, and she was part of like a freak show and all these things. And she left that, and now she's a pickpocket. And Clara met her in an alley after she just picked somebody's pocket, and he pulled a gun on her.
She's about to get murked.
Anyway, that's Zelda. We also have.
Sorry. I'm just gasping at AK's comment. She said, dude, I just saw a pic with twins both still in the stack.
Oh yeah.
Drop a link. Don't kidding. Don't let people find it on their own if they're interested. No spoilers on this cast. Wow.
Well, to get to the meat of it, people in DC. Well, before people in DC go meet it missing, one of the things Clara has to do. Clara has a gift from an enigma, and with a gift comes a trick. We don't learn what Clara's gift is, but her trick is that she has to provide her seer services to anyone who asks for free.
Mm-hmm.
So people come to her all the time for to speak to spirits and to get answers to things, and often to trade you know a trick for a gift from an
Yeah.
enigma themselves.
She's a celebrity medium.
Yeah, in competition with Uncle Nazareth, who is
Miss
another
Cleo.
medium, but not well. No, but he knows how
He
to do
he
things, but
knows how
he's
to
not a
do things,
natural.
but he's not natural.
It's like being a natural born witch versus a witch who learned.
Yeah. If you haven't watched our stream on 30 Tuesdays about the craft, check that out. We just did that on Tuesday and it was a lot of fun.
um, the first client we meet is a woman,
Oh.
a 17-year-old who was in love with this boy, and he told her he was going
Mm-hmm.
to marry her, and she figured,
Mm-hmm.
well, we're already going to get married, it's okay if we do it.
And then she finds herself in
And
a family way.
she finds herself in the family way, and he is nowhere to be found. So she wants an enigma to make him love her and only her.
Hmm.
And
From the,
she's willing to give whatever it takes. What did you say?
I feel like Sarah from The Craft.
Right. To give you an idea of how these tricks and gifts work, the enigma decides that he will love her. Every man will love her. She will be an instant head turner, and every man will
Mm-hmm.
give her whatever she wants, whatever she needs, and the life she desires, but none will have her heart. And she
Yep.
thinks, that's fine by me. I only wanted him anyway.
Yep.
And the trick is that none will have her heart because she's not going to love any of them.
Yep.
So that's the kind of thing we're dealing with
Hmm.
these tricks and gifts.
I'm just gonna teleport to you what I'm thinking, and we'll just call it a subliminal Sanderson reference. Boom.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What was her
Rita,
name?
the night,
The
the
night
Night Watcher.
the Night Watcher.
Yeah.
There's your Sanderson reference.
Boom. We're Standersons.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we're Standersons. I'm gonna use that in my write up.
I
Anyway,
like that.
yeah. So yeah. So Clara does this, but shortly she realizes that or no, a mother comes to her with her son. I forgot which son this was, but she's like, "Look, yo, my kid has been acting weird. He's being all listless and he's not going to work and I don't know what to do. But if I don't keep my eyes on him, he tries to go away. And so I have to keep him locked up all the time. Can you please help?"
And it's really weird. So Clara takes a look and sees that what is afflicting him is not physical but spiritual. And so she knows that the spirits are involved, but she doesn't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
After this, one of her coworkers that she's friends with doesn't show up to work for a
Yeah.
few days, and he doesn't have a phone. So she goes to his neighborhood to check on him, and no one has seen him. She finds out that a lot of other people are missing. And so people around DC, Black people around DC, are just disappearing. And she knows that it's spiritually based and needs to get to the bottom of it. So this is basically like a spooky heist story.
Which I really like. I've never read a story quite like this before.
Not me neither.
Like it's always like bank robberies, right? Like I'm thinking about the Good Luck Girls, right? Like that there was a heist story and like an adventure, blah blah blah. Or you think about like Ocean's 11, or which is a similar. It's a heist story, but like a ghost heist story. No, this is my first.
So the heist is they have to get this magical ring from this famous opera singer named Madame Josephine.
Oui, Madame.
Madame Josephine.
Josephine.
This, of course, is difficult because she's surrounded by bodyguards all the time, and her husband is a gangster, so her bodyguards aren't of the gentle variety.
I love it when you're diplomatic, Tanya. Yeah.
They're thugs. She's surrounded by thugs.
Not the Hillary Clinton kind.
No, these are not super thugs. They're regular thugs.
Yeah, just regs. These, I mean, remember, this is the 1920s, so these are like bootlegger,
They're like,
moonshine, yeah, protecting, yeah,
they're
running
Dick Tracy suits.
Exactly. These are the types of suits we're talking about. Yeah. Sorry.
It's like this book touches on a lot of things. Like we can't like go through the whole story because that'll take
can't.
all afternoon. But it touches on a lot of things. Like we meet the like talented 10th DC elite. If you don't know what that is, I would suggest just Googling talented 10th. But it's basically like the upper crust of the Black people.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are assholes and look down on poor and dark Black people.
Yeah, this is the brown paper bag test city.
Mm-hmm. So there's,
if you don't know what that is, Google it.
Google that too. So Clara is a browner skinned woman, so she's dealing with classism and colorism, and we find out that she's also been to prison. She was locked up for killing a cop. Throughout the book,
So
she keeps seeing this cop, but we don't know why.
that was such a big surprise for me.
It was
I
like
was
this
like, it,
ghost cop.
yeah, I was like, okay. I didn't, and they didn't say he was a cop either. They just said he's this ghost, this white man, this white ghost who keeps appearing and taunting her or whatever. And I was like, oh, look at that. They got racist ghosts on the trains.
I thought they did say it was a cop.
I don't think they said it was a cop. I didn't. I well, maybe if they did, I missed it because I didn't. I wasn't aware until the end, or when they when she found out, when that whole thing was revealed, that he was a cop, because he appeared there, and that's when the gray ones were all there, and I was like, oh my god, it's a cop. And then we found out why.
Go ahead, keep talking. I see.
Yeah, she found out why. But apparently her case was actually really famous because when she was a teenager, there was a shootout between her dad and the cops, which it sounded like some Breonna Thomas stuff.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna
I mean,
Taylor, sorry.
it was
Breonna Taylor
very much inspired
case.
by that. They basically kicked in her door and started shooting. She didn't know they were cops, and so her and her dad shot back,
and she killed one.
And she was also shot.
Yeah, she was also shot.
So she's famous because she got off.
Yes.
And that's just like absolutely unheard of. She killed a white cop. Like, she didn't just like kill a random white guy, which would have already been bad enough.
Been bad, and she probably wouldn't. But yeah, the fact that she got off for killing a white cop made her a legend as a teenager. And there were protests and stuff in support of her. Yeah. Clara.
We also meet Israel Lee, the musician. His because we're doing spoilers now, right?
Clearly.
Whoops.
Wait, you know what? Stop here if you don't want any more spoilers, because we're going in.
The club is always spoilers, though, because it's hard to talk about the book without spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not doing like reviews,
Sorry, AK.
Still read it.
You should totally still read it.
Musician Israel Lee, very handsome, very charming. Turns out
that good
hair. He's also indebted to an enigma.
The scariest one in the book for me.
Yes. The Man in Black.
The Man in Black. You know who he reminded me of? We know in the Disney movie, The Princess and the Frog. He reminded me of, I forgot the guy's name there, but that guy, the voodoo guy there. He reminded me of that.
I don't know what he reminded. When I thought of him, I thought of especially because they describe his eyes as like stars.
That's my favorite part of the book. The way they kept describing his eyes like starlight or like stars.
So I always imagined him as like this shadowy figure, but like at his eyes, it's like the sky, the night sky.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm trying to think of there's an animated, maybe it's a Tim Burton thing, but where they where they show somebody's eyes and it's like kind of like a diamond that's like very brilliant and sparkling. I should have looked that up before, but that's what his eyes kept reminding me of. But he's the spookiest to me of the enigmas.
Why is he so spooky to you?
Because you know what it is? It's I can't take that call. Because he, like, when we meet, what's the one that she hates, who she's got to deal with, her trick.
How did I forget this already?
The enigma that Tanya's gonna look her up, the enigma that Clara has her deal with was a little bit creepy. And the one Lillian that we meet later, also creepy. But
Lillian was very creepy.
She's creepy, but the fact to me, like, I'm afraid of the dark. I think most people are. Like, if you're in pitch black by yourself, that shit is scary. But the fact that she goes into excuse me, I'm getting over the flu. The fact that she goes in to call this one whose name we can't remember right now, and like she's in her little corner room where she does all her her seances, her communing with the other world, and then the things it just starts getting darker. She's got candles lit and the flames start getting smaller and the shadows are getting bigger. Like, that part gave me the creeps. And the fact that he's just like, he's made up of all the shadows. And that's how he manifests himself. And he's like this spooky, you just see the smile and you see the eyes. And he's just like the man made up of all the black in the room. That shit is creepy to me. You can't imagine all the shadows dancing in your wall, but the shadows, like, your candle starts going out and the shadows start getting bigger and like, oh, surrounding you. Whew, creepy. I can't.
Very creepy. We also have Mama Octavia. I thought that was fun. It was Clara's grandmother who had passed the year before, kind
Mhm.
of stuck around to be her spiritual guide. Um, when we talked about the craft, we had our friend Kojo on, and Kojo talked about
Mhm.
his aunt as his spiritual guide, and it just made
Yeah.
me. A lot of the stuff we talked about in the craft made me think of this book, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, so so basically there's three enigmas. We find out through the one whose name we still can't remember,
Yeah.
um that there is something amuck in the spirit world. Basically, there's a woman, there's a woman, Madame Josephine, who's like an opera singer, and she came into possession of this ring. And this ring, for some reason, is like at the bottom of all these people disappearing and becoming shamblers. Becoming shamblers. Shout out to Justina Ireland. But basically becoming, not zombies, but just kind of like senseless. No, I think zombies is the best word for them because they have no control. They're obviously under somebody else's control. And Madame Josephine is wearing the ring that is the cause of this. The heist kind of revolves around the fact that this enigma wants Clara to take it and give it to her because this is the only way to stop it from happening. But because although enigmas cannot lie, they like Aes Sedai are very good at twisting their words.
Mm-hmm.
And so Clara doesn't know why she wants the ring, but she agrees against her, better judgment because she wants to save these people in her community who are disappearing. She agrees to help her and to give her the ring.
Now the gag is if you
The
touch the
Empress.
ring, the Empress. Thank
The
you.
Empress.
Because I thought I had it in my Kindle, but I actually have it as a physical book. So I was stuck just now trying to find it in my Kindle on my phone. The Empress, she's a sneaky little bitch.
Understatement.
I mean, she really kind of sets Clara up. She agrees that if Clara helps her, she will get rid of her trick and her charm, and those of her friends as well, unless they're indebted to the Man in Black, which
Yes.
knocks out Israel Lee.
Who, she starts to have
because he's cute. She
a
likes
growing affection for. Trust that I cleaned it up because that's not what I wanted to say.
What were your favorite parts of the book? Because I don't want to just run down the plot.
Yeah, I don't either. Honestly, I really liked the end. I like you know what? I really the plot twist at the end, but what I really liked, I like when they go to the professor at Howard and they find out about this ring. I like that investigation part. I guess we could talk about that, but if you want me to just like outline my favorite parts. So I like that part where they go and they figure out where this ring has come up from, and they find out that like in African lore that this ring has come from Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, because Solomon played a dirty, fucked up trick on her to get her to sleep with him. He raped her, but made this ring for the son that she bore to wear, right? To protect the son. She was like, you know what? All right, fine. But she made a copy of the ring because it turns out that she had twins. So she figured out how to do all the magic and stuff and imbue it and passed it down to the line, excuse me, of her daughters. That I thought was really cool, a cool way to like link back into history. But I think my favorite part of the book was really when they get to this masquerade ball for all the upper crust of society, invite only event. And then we have Aristotle, who is his charm is that I won't call him a shapeshifter, but he can make a glamour to look like anyone else.
Right. Basically, any role he plays, he fully becomes that role.
Mm-hmm. And so when he became
W.E.B.
Du Bois. Sorry, I had 2 rum punch frozen rum punches and mimosas before this. Yes, and so like that part where everybody's marveling at them because they don't have an invite, and they're seeing this woman get rejected for like not being on the list, and he's like, actually no, hold on, I have a plan. And he comes and he stuns all of high society by showing up to this party that clearly he's not invited to, and just to see everybody's reaction to him, that was really cool to me. Maybe because I'm a lit nerd, but like, yeah, it was really cool to be like, oh my god, is this would have happened back in this time, to see like such a prominent black figure come through the doors of this event that, even though that you are top tier in society, there was somebody else that you guys all
Right.
admire and respect, who can walk through the door of the most exclusive event in DC without a ticket, even though other people are getting rejected at the door. That was my favorite part because I'm a snob.
I really liked learning about Makita's ring.
Yeah,
a
the
lot.
Ring of Makeda, right?
It was a really interesting little tale that they put in there.
I really like that. You know what? Because we don't really like in pop culture, we don't get much about the Queen of Sheba. The only other thing that I can say recently where I really enjoyed the portrayal was in that movie with Idris Elba and the woman who played the guy, the person who talked Doctor Strange all the tricks she knew.
Tilda
I think,
Swinton.
yeah, I think it's like 30,000 years of longing or X amount of thousands of years of longing or loneliness. And in that movie, yeah, in that movie, they talk about the Queen of Sheba and how she was like just this intelligent, brilliant woman, and it was like the most beautiful woman in the world. And the actress that they cast for that, she was stunning. Queen of Sheba. Hold on. Loneliness movie. 3,000 Years of Longing is the name of the movie. Okay, hold on.
I think my favorite part was the brawl at the at the ball. Brawl at the ball.
The brawl at the ball. Her name is
Because
Amito Lagum. Lagum. She's just like, as the Queen of Sheba, just absolutely stunning.
I like the brawl at the ball because I liked the idea of all these people just like sitting at their tables, glassy eyed and smiling up at the stage while these two women brawl it out. Like they're beating the
Two
absolute
possessed women.
shit. Yeah, two possessed women are beating the absolute dog shit out of each other. You know, she says like the enigmas don't care about damaging the bodies because
yes,
they're not feeling it themselves. So like they're going all in with this fighting and they're really kind of fucking each other up.
Yeah. I did enjoy that fight too. It was really weird to be like, they're all in a daze, they're all under a spell because Israel's gift is to enchant people with his music and basically to lull them into any like emotion that he wants. He can make them feel whatever he wants. So basically with his music, he's like kind of lulled them into a daze, so like everything is just whatever. It's cool, dude.
Everything's just cool. So like,
it's
yeah,
chill.
I would love to see that on screen. Like these people battling it out while like everyone is just sitting there smiling, like these like dead-eyed smiles.
He's a soother from Mistborn, or a rioter from Mistborn.
Sanderson reference number 2.
I did it again. Yes, Bilquis in American Gods was based on the Queen of Sheba for the TV show. Yeah, and they mentioned that in the book too, that they like in different histories she was called different names, because in the Bible she's unnamed, but Ethiopians claim her as their own.
I finished. Okay.
Hi.
He had to come.
Hi, Donut.
He had to come tell me he's finished with his pretzel sticks.
Mm.
Because it was urgent that I needed to know he was finished eating pretzel sticks.
He's ready for snack number 2.
That was snack number 2.
Oh, that's my kind of guy.
I'm just scrolling through comments.
Bilquis. Yeah. So that I know, I agree. I thought that so basically what happens is that we find out now that Madame Josephine, not only does she have the ring, but she's not in control of herself. She has been possessed by
Mhm.
Lillian, and because she has
So
embraced the spirits.
Madame Josephine's charm, which Israel Lee thought incorrectly was her success as an opera singer, she said,
Hmm.
absolutely not. I earned that.
Yeah.
Her charm is that she was getting older and her voice was starting to fade and she wanted to be taken care of. And so
Hmm.
the Enigma promised her a wealthy man who would take care of her, but didn't tell her that he'd be a gangster. He's a he's a gangster and a bootlegger.
Yeah.
And
So yeah,
her
living in
trick,
the lap is a luxury, but.
but yeah, and her trick is that she has to let Lillian embrace her every few days, I think it was,
Yeah, something like
which
that.
is wild. Like not
Real
even like once a month.
real quick, like a period.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris H. The Monsters We Defy is the name of the book we are currently discussing. Yes, by Leslye Penelope. Thanks for joining. Hola.
What would you
What would my trick be? What
how
would be
about
the
this?
charm I asked for? Mhm.
Ask me for a charm and I'll also give you a trick. And vice versa.
I am so afraid right now. Ask you for a charm.
I played this once with a friend and she asked for a flying car and I said granted, but it runs on 468 AA batteries.
Oh, you are terrible. But at least she didn't make them D batteries because you can't. Where do you even find D batteries these days? Shit. What would I want? Okay, I'm just gonna. What's the first thing that comes to my
Just think
mind?
of something. It doesn't have to be a huge life-changing charm, just anything.
I want my trains to always be on time and never delayed.
Your trains will always be on time and never delayed, but you will trip every single time you walk in.
With all my bags.
Yes, you'll trip and drop your bags. You'll make the train just in time every time, but you will trip and fall in.
Oh, it's not even because I'm always on time. I am early, but my trains are always delayed, guys. Like Amtrak, the fuck. And I think also this would be really fun if you want to drop in the comments, we're gonna assign you a trick
Yes,
to your charm.
tell us what you want
Ah,
your charm to be, and we'll give you a trick.
it's a whole new podcast. All right, Tanya, what would you like your charm to be?
I would like my charm to be. Hmm.
Let me drink some water and prepare for this because like
I
whatever
know. I
comes to
want to.
mind first is
I
what
know.
I
I
got
want to
you
think
with.
of a. I want to think of a good one.
Nope, no time
But
for
there.
that.
I know. I know. I know. Okay. My charm would be perfect hearing.
Ah, perfect hearing, but everything you hear will be out of tune.
Oh God.
Everything. Every note is out of tune, and every song you love, you're gonna hear just how out of tune it was when it was
That
sang.
that would be my 13th reason.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a horrible trick.
I
It's an
don't know,
absolute
AK. She
horrible
brought it
trick.
upon herself. She should have asked me something out of my wheelhouse.
I know. I know.
Because that to me is the worst. I'm not
AK,
gonna name any
what's your
names, but
charm?
woof. Yeah. You're gonna get two because it's both of us. Chris, you too. What's your
Tell us
charm?
your charm, and we'll give you a
If you
trick.
could ask a genie or an enigma, a spirit, for any gift in the world, what would it be? And now you like don't think about this. Just tell us the first thing that comes to
Yeah,
mind.
make it something fun, not like endless wealth and world peace. Like, let's make it kind of fun. Don't make me mess up world peace.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because I've got ideas for that.
All right, Nikki, what is another charm
Another
for me to
charm.
mess up for you?
Well, I can't say that one here, so we'll talk about that offline. Um, I hmm, 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 hmm. I want to read all the books on my bookshelf.
Just on your bookshelf?
I mean, Tanya, they've been on my bookshelf for years, and there's so many books that I have not even picked up since I moved in my apartment.
You're going to be able to read every book on your bookshelf but the letters will feel so small that you'll have a headache the whole time.
I can't even be saved by my reading glasses. Okay, your turn.
Okay. I want to be able to understand any language.
Oh.
Don't make squirrels start talking to me or something.
Well, you said any language. No, you'll be able to understand every language, but everything that everyone talks about will always be vomit related.
Oh, God.
Okay, Chris H. Chris wants the ability to tell jokes, and I hopefully they're funny ones.
Chris, your jokes will be hilarious, but no one will laugh.
I was gonna go a similar route. Like, Chris, your jokes will be hilarious, but as soon as you start to tell them before you get to the punchline, everybody will get up and walk out.
Oh, that's horrible.
Okay, AK. She wants to go. The Tanya, this is addressed to you. Go for it.
Oh, this one's so easy to make horrible, and I apologize in advance, aka me knock on wood. I hope I'm not cursing you. You will be a successful writer, but not until 100 years after you've died.
Ooh, that is kind of terrible.
I know, I know. I'm so sorry to saddle you with that.
I don't know if mine is any better. Is that wait? Well, first, I'm obviously gonna do the other one. AK is that you'll be a successful writer, but every time you go to publish a book, someone will lose the hard drive that the book is on.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I think that's worse than mine.
is it? I guess so. Huh? Ability to start okay. You want the ability to start a successful colony on Venus. But every time you go to do it, the sun will change its trajectory and you will fly into the sun and it'll burn.
Jeez, that's dark. Okay. You'll be able to start a successful colony on Venus, but everyone will be really, really dumb. Like idiocracy. It'll be like idiocracy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're terrible. We should do this all the time. Keep going. give me another.
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 You know, I think, who do you think had the worst trick? Because I think Jessie Lee had the worst trick.
Jessie Lee was it was 51st Dates Forever.
Yeah.
That
Jessie
broke my
Lee,
heart.
while you guys think of other charms, please do keep them coming because that's really fun.
Yeah.
Jessie Lee, his charm was that he could get rid of whatever memories he wants, his or other people's. And the reason was because he had PTSD from the war and having to bury bodies and carry bodies, and he was having nightmares. So he was granted that charm to get rid of the memories, but it meant the woman he loves would never remember him.
Ugh. That made me so sad. Spoiler alert, she does at the end.
Well, because he thought, well, she won't remember me, so I'll just like meet her again. I'm a charming guy. I'll make her fall in love with me. But every time he went to meet her, she didn't know who he was.
I thought Aristotle's for me was really sad too. That he wanted, like, I forgot what exactly he wanted to. He wanted to be a famous?
He was a vaudeville actor, and he wanted to be able to embody any role completely.
Yes. So he wanted to be able to embody any role completely, but when he played himself, when he was actually himself, he was basically invisible. Nobody noticed him. Just absolutely unremarkable.
And like, I mean, like, where people walk by him, like, he's not physically invisible, but he might as well be.
He might as well be. Like, people would walk by him and they just he was there.
Mr. Cellophane.
Do the body roll dance.
You walk right through me. I never know I'm there.
Yes, he was Mr. Cellophane. Yeah.
Is there any other charm and trick? that was like prominent?
Let's see. It was Israel, which who we did. We did Claire. Well, we haven't gotten to
Oh
Clara's.
no, we didn't talk about
We didn't
Israel's. We
talk
only
about.
talked about his charm.
Yes, we only talked
His
about his
charm
charm.
was that he could woo everyone with his music. Basically, he puts you in a trance with his music. He hypnotizes you, and he lowers your inhibitions. Convince you to do things.
Izzy, can't you see?
he can convince you to do things, but like not necessarily against your will. It just lowers your inhibitions to do things that you maybe already kind of wanted to do, and he can suggest you to go further with it. But he can also just kind of hypnotize you into a trance where you just kind of feel good and just listen. But his trick was that everyone sees him as like what was it? Everyone admires him, but no one like gets to know him.
Yeah.
So it's all like fawning admirers, people who see him as a possession. So
He's
nobody,
like the HQ.
yeah. So nobody gets to know him. Nobody actually cares about him as a person. They just like fawn over him like he's Beyonce.
He's like the one man BTS.
Sure.
Or Brownie Sunday. Shout out to oh wait, you haven't seen that movie yet, have you?
Nope.
Oh, I can't wait.
What movie?
That's the movie. Hold on. I'm gonna forget the name. It's like Girls Trip, but that's not what it's called. Brownie Sunday.
All right. Do you have any more charms and tricks?
Well, no one's hitting me up. I mean, give me another one. I'll give you one.
Okay. For my charm, I want to be able to turn any liquid into wine.
It's always going to be in high tannins and make your mouth dry.
Oh.
Hold on 1 second. I'm Googling. I can't believe I didn't remember. Joyride. I don't want to call it the Asian girl trip movie, but it's Asian girl trip.
I don't think I saw that.
No, you haven't seen it because we were supposed to do a whole movie thing and then it was out of theaters because they don't keep movies in theaters long enough. But we will do a watch because that movie is hilarious and they form a K-pop band called Brownie Sunday.
Gotcha. I was gonna say also as an aside, you have to come over and watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, I have never seen that.
So you got to come over and watch it. Brian's never seen it either.
Ooh, fun times. Okay, we'll do that.
And I already have Halloween candy.
I've been resisting the urge to eat my candy corn.
I have it sitting right next to me. I keep looking at it.
You know what? Before I will do that. But show us in the poll. Are you a candy corn lover or a candy corn hater? Where do you fall on this?
We won't judge you.
We won't. Much. I mean, I will a little bit. I will judge you a lot, but Tanya won't judge you.
I won't judge you. I also found out people hate Twizzlers, which is like one of my favorite candies.
You know what? I know
somebody said that it tastes like it was supposed to be a toy.
You know what? I feel like that about red vines.
Oh, I hate red vines.
I feel like on the Twizzler red vine dichotomy, I'm absolutely team Twizzler all day, except the cherry ones. The cherry ones can burn in hell.
I only do straight up regular strawberry Twizzlers. The only strawberry thing I will ever eat. Not pull and peel either, or the minis. I don't like the minis. They taste different. Just regular full size Twizzlers.
The minis interesting taste
because
different.
I don't like full size Snickers, but I'll eat the minis. Candy corn, nasty. Even the combination of candy corn colors doesn't look good. I'll have you know, I have a candy corn cardigan that I intend to wear on Halloween.
I'm about to eat a candy corn right now.
And I have candy corn nails to wear for Halloween. I love candy corn and the colors. But I'm not judging you.
I'm not judging you. I did have a friend tell me that he would rather chew glass than eat candy corns.
Glass?
Glass. You know who I'm talking about.
Glass is harsh.
Watch this.
I have the little pumpkins.
This is where me and Tanya part ways. It's not that I don't like the pumpkins. It is that they are intense. Here's the thing about candy corns. People eat candy corns as if they were popcorn, and they're not meant to be like pounded. They're meant to be savored one at a time. And even the pumpkin, I would like take a little piece, bite off. My charm would be that my apartment would always be clean without me doing anything.
Your apartment will always be clean without you doing anything, but there will always be the light scent of goat meat.
Goat meat, why?
Because it has such a strong and distinct smell.
This is the second time today you've mentioned goat meat.
I know. Because, like, I swear, like, I smell. Goat meat is the smell of AK. Her apartment will always lightly smell of goat meat.
Wow.
Not curry goat, just goat meat.
I would prefer curry
Nope.
goat.
Not curry goat, because curry goat smells delicious. Just raw goat meat smell.
Mm.
Fresh from the butcher.
I don't even cook meat in my apartment because I hate the smell of cooking meat. That's terrible.
All right, AK's charm.
Did you know that my sister told me I took her to puppy yoga as a surprise today. There's also goat yoga.
I think I've heard about that.
Goat
People
yoga.
are
Had
goats right now, like baby goats.
I love them. They're so cute.
All right, AK's charm. No matter where I go or what I buy, I'll always have an awesome place to stay and enough money for whatever I want. All right, Nikki, what's your trick?
It'll always smell lightly of goat meat. No, there will always. Hold on, can you put it back up so I can think about this for a second?
Okay. I'm gonna throw goat meat into every trick.
It's like every sentence is gonna have goat meat at the end of it.
You'll have an awesome place to stay, enough money for whatever you want.
Oh, I got it. But the hot water will never work, and the electricity will always be shoddy.
I was gonna say, but there's gonna be some weird, smelly guy there too. He's not like creepy, just weird, and he smells kind of like mildewy.
Oh, like the time that I was on the
gonna...
train and I moved seats because the guy just smelled of unwashed body and he kept scratching his arms and legs.
Ugh. So yeah, that guy's gonna be there. He's gonna smell like meat burps.
You're what? Did you say meat burps?
Yeah. There's always going to be some guy right next to you who smells like meat burps.
Yo, Peter Griffin, what is your... I think you don't know. So this book is about charms and tricks. These enigmas, these spirits have granted people the power to do one thing, but it always comes at a price, like magic often does. So what would be your charm? And we're going to give you a trick.
I have a new charm. My children
also putting
quiet
pizza,
and well behaved while I'm. My kids will be quiet and well behaved while I stream. That's my charm.
There will always be a fresh pile of poop in the back room.
Oh God! Just wait, but that's
just waiting
happened.
for you. I know. Okay, so did I do something more more fantastical than that? Peter Griffin, I draw the line at candy corns on pizza.
No, candy corn doesn't need to be put on anything else. Just straight candy corn.
Just straight.
And AK, it's not illegal, but it should be. All right.
No, it's poop. Yeah, no, poop. Poop in children is a terrible thing. It's just like, or you know what? Every time you go to sit down, they will be good for your stream, but every time you go to sit down, you will stop and like throw your back up because there is poop there. And you're surprised.
God.
You're like, my back.
That's horrible. I'm triggered. I got poop on my shirt today.
Oh no.
I'm not even going to go into detail because I told you about it earlier. It's too horrible to talk about on the stream, but just know it was poop involved.
It was terrible.
Damn it. All right,
I have one. Every time I take my animals to the vet, they'll say, "You don't have to pay for this. It's on the house."
All right. Free vet trips for Nikki. But the trick is their food will cost as much as a vet trip.
That special diet food will get you every time. Yo. Ugh. Terrible. Well, maybe we should talk about the end of this book in the meantime, since no one dares offer us any more charms. I'm totally breaking the rule. I'm not allowed to eat during streams, but it's candy corns and it's spooky season, so
Well,
insert 3 words in any order you want right there, but that's what I meant.
I'll have a candy corn too. So the book ends with this huge brawl between the Empress in Clara's body and Lillian in Madame Josephine's body.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting over this ring because basically the spirits want to take people's destinies. This was actually the spookiest part of it for me.
Yeah.
Was that Lady Josephine had purchased like a clay mine. And they're like, she lives in DC. What the hell does she want with the clay mine? She was making clay bodies so that the spirits could take the destinies of the people that have been entranced by the ring and essentially become fake people themselves and walk around as humans in these clay bodies. That freaked me out a lot. And Clara is able, unbeknownst to us, sorry, this like candy corn's making my mouth water.
Yeah, me too.
Unbeknownst to us, Clara had gone to Jessie Lee after having a talk with Uncle Nazareth about how the Greys, which are these other spooky ghosts that don't seem to have any purpose other than scaring the shit out of you, are not necessarily bad. So she hatched a plan and then had Jessie Lee erase her memories so that when the Empress took over, eventually she figured the Empress would take over her body in order to get the ring because only an Enigma could remove it. And she didn't trust her.
Well, so that was a smart move.
It was a smart move because the Empress indeed tried to keep her body. She did try to keep her body, but Clara's able to get the Greys to yank her ass out of there.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can help me with this. In like witchcraft and magic and stuff, there is a name for when you make a body out of clay, or like make a body for something else to basically possess. And then when they get into that thing, they can like walk around. There is a word for it. I cannot remember. I've seen it in numerous TV shows and stuff about magic. It's not an effigy because an effigy is something else. But a golem. Thank you. AK, for weeks, I have been trying to remember this word, a golem. So basically, she was making golems, and I was actually surprised that word did not appear in this book because I figured that, it's going to come up eventually and I'll remember what that word was. But yeah, no, a golem. So she was making golems for the destiny, for the enigmas to possess. I'm going to imbue these golems with the destiny, or basically life path, of humans, because they were wasting them anyway. They didn't know what they had.
Right. They basically throw their lives away and don't do anything good with them. And the enigmas don't have destinies. And so they're like, well, fuck that. Yeah. I want some destiny.
Yeah, I don't appreciate shit, so
bye, I'm taking it from you. Basically. Knockout, drag down brawl between them. The Greys join in. They snatch the Empress out of there and they attack her. The Enigmas get pissed. The crowd gets into a fight too. It's like a full room brawl. And of course, our team wins. It's not enough time to go into the details of how, but our team wins, and they're able to get rid of their charms and their tricks and live happy lives.
And Israel and Clara make out.
Zelda falls in love with one of the thug bodyguards, who she was able to take down, and he just was shocked because she's a little tiny woman.
That was literally going to be her destiny no matter what.
Yeah. Jessie Lee gets his girl back.
That made me so happy.
Aristotle gets to be himself and goes back to see a man who he had fallen in love with, but who only knew him as a character he played.
Yeah.
So that was really sweet. I thought Aristotle's ending was particularly sweet.
Yeah, I really like Jessie Lee's and Aristotle's. All the other ones I was like, but those two, like,
I thought it was
Ugh.
kind of weird how much when we find out what Clara's trick is, her charm. Clara's charm is that she can make anyone do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah,
And that's how she's able to
that's how
get
she got
out
off.
of jail.
Yeah.
She like told the judge that he was going to give her a new trial, and he's like, "I will give you a new trial." But she really hates it, and I can get not wanting to use it, but the way she hates it, what do
It
you
was
think
like
that's like?
disproportionate.
Yeah, right.
Like you got out of jail for a crime that like you murdered someone in self-defense. And you got out of jail because you used your charm. Because like why did like it was unfair, obviously. It was racially motivated, obviously. Like why would you feel bad about that? I understand like not wanting to or just respecting the power of this charm
Mm-hmm.
and not using it willy-nilly. And she doesn't seem like the kind of person who would like do that. But for her to despise it the way that she did just kind of didn't make any sense to me.
Me neither.
I would be
And
cautious with it, but not like I
right, and
wouldn't hate it.
she refused to use it to pull off this heist, but this seems like the perfect opportunity to use it.
Yeah. Especially for someone it's like if she was like really a noble creature or human in this story, then I'd be fine. But this bitch is always trying to get into a fight. You know, like she would throw a chair. That's kind of like the vibes that she gave me. Like she's not going to back down. She's the kind of woman who's just like, you know what? Let me start something before they start something with me because I think they're going to start something with me. Um, and you know, she's just so wildly insecure and all these things. And like, I get it. And maybe she knows that maybe she just doesn't trust her nature. And maybe that's why she despises it because she knows that she would do terrible things.
Maybe.
But like I would hate it.
I think another thing I loved was at the end how like
Wait. Sorry, I'm sorry. I know that he just came in, but can we please assign your husband a charm? I mean a trick. Can you ask him two things?
he's in the other room with the door shut.
Oh
He went to go
man.
wrangle the children.
Fine.
Sorry.
Okay.
I could text them, but it might take him a while to respond.
It's okay. We'll give him one offline and we'll let you guys know.
I was gonna say one of the things I loved about the ending was, you know, you kind of have to wrap up the fact that there was a brawl amongst DC's elite. Like, how do you what do you do about that?
Yeah, it's
And
not
they
like they
blamed
made
it on
their bruises disappear.
yeah, like they blamed it on a gas leak. No one knows what happened. Everybody just has black eyes. They don't know
Yeah.
what happened. And I thought that was hilarious. And so
Yeah.
because of that, I would really love to see this in a movie.
Yeah.
This would make a
Yeah.
really fun movie.
It would
All
make
right,
a
do you
fun
want to give
movie.
me before we go? Do you want to give me one last charm? And I'll give you one.
Can I give you a charm? And then
Okay.
you give me a trick for it?
Okay.
People will always show up on time to your events. And RSVP. Well, people will always RSVP and show up on time to your events.
All right. The trick would be that they show up empty-handed no matter what I tell them to bring.
Yeah.
And a charm for you. No matter what, your devices will always be fully charged.
I should have given you that one.
I know. That was going to be my charm that I chose, so I'm giving it to you.
But there will never be enough data to actually use the device. It'll always be like, you got to delete something. I'm like, there's nothing else I can delete.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, we're at time.
We are at time.
This was fun.
That sounds fun.
Make sure you check out all of our socials and feel
Mhm.
free to keep sending me charms and I'll send you tricks.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite game to play. I love it.
Yeah. We're gonna make a reel and put it on Instagram. Send me a video. Yeah. Just in our stories, we're just gonna start assigning you charms and tricks. Like it's gonna be great.
Yes, please send them to us.
Yeah.
You know, subscribe to our channel, subscribe, all that stuff.
Tune in on Tuesday because we've got 30 Tuesdays. So get your favorite beverage that maybe has alcohol in it or whatever.
But get 32 ounces of it.
But get 32 ounces of it. And join us on Tuesday because it's Beetlejuice time.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, we're
Definitely
doing Beetlejuice
excited.
for 30 Tuesdays. We cannot wait to talk about this movie because it is a Thousand Eyes and One fave. And then after that, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you haven't been following along, we've been doing a 30 Tuesdays spooky season film fest. So far we've covered The Craft, which was last week.
Mm-hmm.
The week before that was The Twilight Zone, the episode called Mirror Image.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, the radio show Inner Sanctum.
Mm-hmm. The
And
episode was The Dark Chamber.
The Dark Chamber. So this week coming is Beetlejuice. And then on Halloween,
I'm so excited.
Two, Freddy's coming for you.
Oh, your favorite corny joke making slasher.
Yes. I love that movie. I think it is
Nobody says bitch like
movie.
him. I feel
Nobody
like
says bitch like Freddy.
I feel like he and Too Short need to go at it. I would be here for
What's
Freddy,
my favorite word?
and then in Freddy voice. Yo, can you tell your husband to make that a mix?
I will ask him.
Then
he doesn't like to use that word, but maybe he'll do it for us.
Maybe he'll do it for us.
He literally doesn't say it.
Yeah,
He's
I've
so
noticed.
Honorable.
He really is. He is a noble gentleman. We are not.
Him. Yeah, I'm like, I gotta corrupt him.
We are neither gentlemen nor noble. But yeah, so we're looking forward to that for sure.
9 p.m. for both. Mm-hmm. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Find us here. And we'll all have a good time. And on that note, enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah. We're out. Bye. To find previous episodes, go to thousandeyespodcast.com. You can also find us on YouTube, 1,000 Eyes in One Podcast. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we're on Twitter as 1,000 Eyes One, Facebook and Instagram, 1,000 Eyes in One. If you're interested in our Speculative Fiction Book Club, that is Wine on an Empty Stomach on Instagram.